Hello, and welcome to another First Chapter Friday. I'm really excited about this book. I found it about a month or so ago, and I kept on meaning to share it with you, and I realized I hadn't yet, and I wanted to share it with you today while I was thinking about it. JD and the Great Barber Battle. This book is hilarious. It's got a great story. If you want to know who the best barber in town is, you're going to have to read the book to find out. This is a great early chapter book. It's definitely lower middle grade, although some middle grade may enjoy it as well because it's such a fun little story. So let me share the first chapter with you, and maybe you can find out if it's something that you might enjoy as well. So let's get started. Chapter 1, A Crooked Fade. "Sit still and look straight into the mirror," my mom said as she turned on a set of clippers. The buzzing sound made me a little nervous. I shifted in my stool in the one bathroom my entire family of 6, 3 adults and 3 kids, shared. It was the Sunday night before the start of the 3rd grade, and I was in the middle of a family tradition. In the Jones family, none of us got our hair cut before we turned 9. Up until now, my mom always cornrowed my hair, and I liked it that way. But I was excited for my first real haircut. I'd been checking out my friends' haircuts all summer for ideas. My friend Xavier, who lived across the street, had his cool dad cut his hair into the most amazing high-top fade. But Mr. Boone was an ex-Marine and strict. He made it clear his time and his money were only for his kids. Even when he took us all out for ice cream, he made sure everybody's parents gave their kids enough money to pay for our own stuff. No way I was ever asking him for anything. "Come back with $5, I imagined him saying if I asked for a haircut. And I'd want to yell back, "Your prices are steep." But not with Mr. Boone. I'd just say, "Yes, sir," to everything. My best friend Jordan, who lived next door, also had cool hair thanks to his older brother, Nijah. Nijah had already graduated from college. He would come home after work, change into his clothes that were straight fire, and sometimes cut his and Jordan's hair. He had skills and could cut designs like playing cards into the back of his head. I would watch him and study his technique for hours. But it seemed to be happening less and less. He was a grown man with a full-time job, a new car, and a girlfriend. Nijah didn't have time to cut hair all day. I didn't just want to copy one of my friend's haircuts, though. I had so much hair that maybe I could get a small afro with an edge up like Steph Curry. Or even something wilder like that quarterback on the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Jordan had an iPhone, and sometimes I would look on his Instagram account at barber hashtags. I loved the guy who cut designs into people's heads and then colored in the outline with a pencil. I was good at art. I always kept a set of colored pencils and paper in my backpack so I could draw whenever I felt like it. After I saw those Instagrams, I started drawing myself with all types of Marvel characters cut into the back of my head. Deep down, I knew I could never get the Amazing Spider-Man or any of those other styles I really liked, especially since there was only one barbershop in town, Hard & Son. They offered 3 types of kids' haircuts: a baldy, a Caesar, or a fade. Sometimes I'd go with my friends on Saturdays, and getting a haircut there took longer than it did to sit through one of Pastor's Sunday sermons. Your day was shot to pieces. I figured my mom could manage something simple, and plus I knew we did not have the extra money to spend. "I want a basic fade," I told my mom. I asked for her phone and showed her a picture of Michael B. Jordan, the villain from the movie Black Panther. "Okay, baby," she said. "I can't believe you're going to 3rd grade." I loved the weekly time my mom set aside to style my hair. My younger brother, my older sister, plus my grandparents lived with us. It was hard to get alone time with Mom, especially since she always seemed to be in school, even more than me. At first, She told us she was going back to school to become a nurse. But after spending 6 months working at the hospital, she quit. I hate the hospital, Mom said one night after a long shift. Everybody isn't treated the same. I didn't know exactly what happened, but I used to overhear her talking to my granddad about people being turned away for not having insurance or patients being given pills they didn't need. So after she sat at the dinner table one night with tears in her eyes, Granddad told her if she hated that job that much, she just had to stop. There's plenty of other jobs in the world, he told her. I knew it was hard for her. Mom loved medicine, and her dream was to become a nurse and help sick people. It made me so proud to hear how great she was at it and how neat and clean she kept all the patients' rooms. It made me keep my bedroom extra clean too. So Mom went back to school to get something called an MBA, and her thick books that said anatomy now said things like Statistics 101 and Management. She had told us she had seen a job opening in the mayor's office, but she needed this MBA thing to apply. Mom's super smart. She didn't always get 100 on her tests, and she didn't expect us to, but she said the important thing was to always try as hard as you could. A couple of years ago, all of us moved in with my grandparents after my granddad had a heart attack. It'll just be for 2 months, until Granddad feels better. Then we'll move back with Dad, my mom had told us. Well, 2 months turned into 2 years. Dad sent money sometimes, but Mom never said anything bad about him. But I didn't really know why they split up. They met when they were track stars at Mississippi Valley State. And even today, Mom had what she called her runner's legs. Sometimes she would race me and my sister around the big track at the local high school, and she'd remind us why her nickname as a kid had been Cheetah. So it was my mom, my older sister Vanessa, my baby brother Justin, and my grandparents. Mr. and Miss Slayton Evans, all in an old house built in the 1930s. Like most houses in Meridian, Mississippi, it had a closed-in porch, so you could sit outside when it was hot, which was most days, and all the rooms were on one floor. Luckily, I still got my own room since Vanessa slept with Mom, and Justin loved sleeping with my grandparents. "Baby, did you hear me?" my mom asked. I checked the time on her phone. It had been 20 minutes already, and she'd finished cutting my hair. "Well, what do you think?" she said. "I can't believe how grown up you look." I stared into the mirror. What I saw was not good. My mom had cut my hair down all right, but my hairline looked like a hilltop or a mountain range. It definitely wasn't straight like I'd seen in pictures or on my friends. "I can't go to school tomorrow looking like this," I told my mom. "Nothing's wrong with your hair," she said. "You are not missing out on the first day of school. Now please get ready for bed." I sighed, and my shoulders fell 3 inches as I reached for my toothbrush and started to get ready to brush my teeth. That night, I couldn't sleep. Maybe I could fake being sick. My hair looked terrible. I didn't want anyone at school to see me like this. How many ways could the 3rd grade class of Douglas Elementary make fun of a bad haircut? Well, I was about to find out. And I guess the only way you'll find out is to read the book. I hope you enjoy it. Happy reading.